Radio Raheem here with Robert Garcia, getting ready for another big event with one of your favorite fighters. I can tell by the way that you talk about him and the way your eyes light up when you mention Abner Mares. It seems like you guys are getting along real good. You've had some success. How badly, though, did you want to be in the corner for Leo Santa Cruz Mares 2? Like, this is a fight that the fans want to see. How badly did you want that fight?
Look, we wanted badly. We were already training for this fight. We've been actually training for the past 3 or 4 months for this fight against Leo Santa Cruz. But you know, things happen for a reason. You know, Leo and his dad have the reason for not wanting the fight now and maybe sometime next year. I don't blame them. They have their own reason, and I support their decision too. I know Leo is a warrior, and the reasons must be something that we have to respect. Leo fights anybody. Leo always ready for anybody. But you know, we were getting ready for Leo. I think the fight being postponed, I think it not only gives me more time to work with Abner to fight Leo and hopefully beat Leo, but you know, gives me one more fight to continue working with Abner. It does for Leo and his dad. I think it's probably the same thing. They don't, you know, they're gonna. It's not like they're gonna do anything in the next 3 or 4 months. I have a full year training to fight Leo, just like last year when I had the whole year training to beat Cuellar, and we went and did what we did. For this fight, I have the whole year training with Abner for Leo, because that's what we're getting ready for. Now that the fight was changed, I think it gives me another 3 or 4 months, 5 months to just continue training him and get him even better.
2 fights with Frampton, it has to make a fighter better. Fights like that are really close, where you got to, you know, take everything you have to win. It was the same kind of close fight with Abner. What is it that you need to change for Abner to edge out Santa Cruz this time? And is Santa Cruz a better fighter, or will have been a better fighter by the time Mares steps in there against him again?
Look, I think I've always seen Leo as the same fighter against whoever he fights. He's always been the same fighter, except for his last fight. I think in his last fight against Frampton, the rematch with Frampton, I think Leo came in with a game plan and followed it up and did a great job. I think he boxed more than he normally does and looked really good doing it. With Abner, I think Abner's first fight with Leo, obviously I wasn't there with him. I wasn't training him, but I think he fought the wrong fight. I think he went out there being the, you know, whatever made him comfortable with so many fans wanting to see the fight and wanting to please the crowd. He went out and fought the wrong fight. I think the Abner that I have right now and the Abner that I'll have 5 or 6 months from now, when that fight really happens, is going to be a much better Abner. I already think the Abner that I have right now is good enough to beat Leo. I think 5 months from now, 6 months from now, we'll even have a better Abner. He's getting better, you know. Abner listens, you know. After being a 3-division world champion, came to me late in his career, where, you know, a lot of people think it was too late, but I think I'm seeing a young, hungry Abner. He's sparring nothing but young, talented fighters that are obviously want to look good against him, being that they're sparring a former world champion, and he's, you know, doing a hell of a job with them and sparring really good. And I have my third guy coming in the next couple of weeks to finish up training camp, who's also going to give him great sparring. So, you know, he's motivated every day. He comes to the gym, and every day is, coach, what are we working on today? How many rounds, coach? You know, always showing that respect, and I love it. You know, you don't see that from a lot of fighters.
You know, we've seen 2 dedicated fighters that have recently signed to fight each other. It's another one of these fights people expect to be very close. Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux. That's a fight fans fight. How do you see that fight? Do you have a favorite?
Look, that's a hell of a fight, and talking about it with different boxing people, I think I've had more people telling me that they think Rigondeaux is going to win, but I think Lomachenko wins. Lomachenko's faster, throws a lot more punches, and stays a little bit busier. So I think Lomachenko wins the fight, but it is going to be a very interesting fight. I definitely, if I'm wrong about it, I wouldn't be surprised that Rigondeaux wins. But I pick Lomachenko.
You're one of the people that were excited about Mayweather and McGregor. You're something of an MMA coach yourself now. You've got Jose Aldo. What do you think of that Mayweather fight? And is this thing going to become a thing? MMA guys crossing over to boxing and vice versa.
Look, I think this fight with Conor and Mayweather is a fight that just had to happen because it generated so much money for Mayweather and Conor that they couldn't say no to it. But it was just an event. It was the place to be at. The reason to barbecue and order the fight on pay-per-view, get together with family. It was just an event. I don't think it was a fight, and I don't think the future. I don't think it looks like the future will have world champions against UFC fighters that would be close. I don't see it. You know, I worked with Aldo for a month and a half, and him sparring Abner, him sparring Mikey, him sparring some of my young guys, and Misael Rodriguez and Lindolfo Delgado. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. And you know, of course, if you're in a cage, well, then it's a different story. But in boxing, it's just totally different. You know, I was a little surprised that Conor was able to do pretty good the first 2 or 3 rounds, but I can also think that Mayweather allowed that to happen. I think if Mayweather would have wanted to, I think he could have easily beat McGregor every round. He just allowed some action, the fans to get excited the first 3 or 4 rounds. I think it was Mayweather that allowed it. I don't think it's that Conor was just so good. I just think that Mayweather allowed it.
So you think like Mikey Garcia is just going to go ahead and carry Cotto for a few rounds and then knock him out? Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing calling out Cotto at a 54? Talk to me about what went into that decision.
Look, I'm going to tell you the story. And I'm at the gym, and Mikey's at the gym with me. I think that's the day that Mikey was sparring Aldo. And I get a text message from a good friend of mine, Rudy Hernandez. And Rudy tells me, go after Cotto with Mikey. I respond, I'm like, are you fucking crazy or what? And then he sent me a message saying, "Look, Robert, I'm the first one that told you not to fight Mikey above 140. Keep him 140 or 135. That's where Mikey belongs." He says, "But for a fight against Cotto," he says, Mikey will just make a big statement. You know, look, move up 2 or 3 divisions." And he says, "I think Mikey beats Cotto." He says, "I was in the opposite corner, Cotto," and he says, the way I seen it, I think Mikey's talented enough to beat Cotto." And I'm like, "You crazy?" He says, "Robert, believe me, I'll be the last one to tell you to move Mikey up that much in weight, but for this fight, you should look into that fight." And he tells me, remember Roy Jones moving up to heavyweight to fight John Reese? He says, "Well, see it the same way. He didn't stay at heavyweight to fight the best heavyweights out there. He went out there to beat John Reese. Well, this is the only reason you move up Mikey that much, to fight Cotto, and then you bring him back down." So Mikey was right there. So Mikey read all the text messages. So Mikey gets on his phone and starts, it's me. I'll fight Cotto. Mikey starts. I don't know if you guys seen it. But something like that. So I'm like, "Fucking Mike, are you serious?" Like, "Fuck it, I'll do it." So honestly, that brought a lot of attention with fans, but also with the promoters. Now, I already met with them about that fight. I already met.
So they say, "Okay, you take that fight."
Hell yeah, Mikey's gonna take that fight. I'm not gonna take it, but Mikey is.
Radio Raheem with Robert Garcia. Man, that's a huge statement. I kind of hope that happens. I can't wait to see what's gonna go down in 2018. Wonderful trainer. Always a great interview. Radio Raheem with Robert Garcia.